Hi Sec4s, let's learn how to do conclusion. So for every practical, right, there are three key skills you need to learn. First thing, you need to know how to annotate. That means identify what are we testing for in a test given to you using the QA table. Next, you'll be able to write down proper observation using the keywords from the QA table as well. And lastly, based on what you think that we are testing for and based on what we observe, what can we conclude about the presence of certain cation, anion, or gases from each test? Alright, so let's begin. So they asked us to write down what cation are present in solution P and Q. So let's look at P and Q observation. So in solution P, in test B part 1, we are testing for cation, and we also test for ammonium ions as well. And let's look at the observation. So it tells us that there's a green PPT is formed, insoluble in excess equals sodium hydroxide. So let's look at the equals sodium hydroxide. And green PPT is formed, insoluble in excess. So this tells us that iron 2 ions are present. And next, there's a pungent gas that produced, and this turns moisture litmus paper blue. So on warming, ammonia gas is produced. So on warming, ammonia gas is produced. So this tells us that there's a presence of ammonium ions. Alright, so let's write it down. So we write down one at a time. So solution P contains iron 2 ions. How do we know? So we follow these 3 steps. So we have already write down which cation is present. So next, we need to refer it to which test. As seen in test B part 1. So this allows us to save time to write down the whole procedure out. As in test B part 1, green PPT is formed and it is insoluble in excess equals sodium hydroxide. Next, solution P contains ammonium ions as in test B part 1. Ammonia gas is produced. So once we are writing down the conclusion, right, we don't use the pungent gas anymore. We straight away tell the examiner that, oh, this is ammonia gas is produced. Alright, so ammonia gas is produced upon warming. Which turn moist red litmus paper blue. And the last part, solution Q, which is in test B part 3. So we are testing for cation over here, and we notice that there's a reddish brown PPT form and is insoluble in excess equals ammonia. So equals ammonia, red brown PPT insoluble in excess. So this tells us that iron 3 ions are present. Alright, so let's write down. Solution Q contains iron 3 ions. How do we know? As in test B part 3, red brown PPT is formed. Okay, so for practical, right, we are allowed to use the word PPT to replace precipitate. Alright, just for practical only. And it is insoluble in excess aqueous ammonia. So for every single predical, right, once you can annotate, write down proper observations with the keywords from QA table and make the conclusion, predical will be very easy to score. Alright, so next predical 2017, I will need you to annotate by yourself using the proper keywords and make conclusion. So as we can get these skills done fast, then we'll be able to pick up the skill as fast as possible and do well. Thank you.